So, where has play gone in schools? It's gone underground, and this proposal, our project, is to bring it out into the open.
We propose to create a virtual space to allow students to express themselves and support others in their passions.
And even perhaps do some project-based learning. And we really do think that Minecraft is the best platform for that.
Minecraft is an open sandbox game, and it involves a kind of virtualized Lego environment which allows students and even teachers or groups to build anything they like within the environment and also share these buildings and things that they create with each other.
Well, it's an essential place to do creativity, to whatever you imagine is what you can create. And that's the best thing about it. And it's not decided by teachers what you can or cannot build. You can work with your teachers to define and refine the design process to make whatever you can imagine.
One of the things we've done for this presentation is design it like a meme that you may have seen on the internet, looking at how society perceives certain things we do. So this one we based it on was the teacher meme of what people in society think teachers do. But here we're looking at what society thinks computer gaming at school is.
So the first one is what my teachers think I do. And I think most teachers, their perception is that you're wasting time if you're playing a game in school. And sometimes that happens. But what's really interesting here is that recent Australian research done by the Victorian Department of Education and Early Childhood Development, they're saying that with certain games that have been employed in classrooms, 87% of them actually see that the kids take greater responsibility, and it really helps develop inquiry-based learning and problem solving. So games aren't just the Dungeons and Dragons and Catcher in the Rye of the past. So when you think about what parents think, my parents think I do, oh my goodness, video games will destroy the earth, you'll all become totally caught up in yourself and just neglect the problems of the world. Well, the research that's coming out of organisations like EduCourse, who write the Horizon report, is that games aren't these things that close you off from the world and close you off from issues. They have a huge potential to foster collaboration and engage students deeply in processes of learning. Now, other research that's coming through around this from Jane McGonigal, the kind of doyenne of games in learning, she says that when you play games, you develop this thing called urgent optimism, where you will persevere, you'll just do something again and again because you know deep inside that you'll succeed. The second thing that she says is there's the idea of the social fabric, that games actually are based on trust and developing bonds of collaboration. And the third thing that she talks about, and she talks about a lot, is the idea that you feel this blissful sense of productivity because game players, unlike some kids in schools, actually achieve results.
And I think it's something to note that anyone who's played games, not just virtual or on computer, do get involved with a game. I think we've all experienced that.
Yeah, board games, for example. I mean, you play Monopoly, you lose money, you gain money, you lose money, you gain money. You just keep playing because you have a sense, this perception that you're going to actually succeed. Yeah. And often I don't think kids feel that when they're in schools. They don't always feel they're going to succeed.
And I think leading on from that is the fact that students, when you play a game, you don't get frightened with the risk of failure. And what we're looking at in this is Bob the Builder in terms of being able to build things in an environment and allow yourself to fail and get up again and challenge yourself to do better. And I think that's an important thing as highlighted by Adam Savage from Mythbusters.
If you don't get a chance to fail, you don't get a chance to try things and not get them right the first time, but keep on doing it until you do get that specific kind of success, then you become so risk averse that in effect you have an allergy to trying new things. And that is the worst thing you can do to a kid.
Another thing to note is that Bob the Builder is into solving problems, and I think that's very, very important in these environments where it's project-based, is what we're asking students to do is solve problems within that environment.
Now, when you're actually a player, you may think that it's all about you. You may even think that it's all about you levelling up, gaining points, beating your friends. But huge amounts of research coming from Jim G in the US and others everywhere really are saying that it's about teamwork, negotiation, collaboration and leadership and being able to think critically. And this is what we've observed in the short time we've been working with girls in exploring how Minecraft could be valuable. Just have a look at some of the things they've been doing.
Yeah, so it's very interesting to see their response to each other's work and how it does promote their own levels of not just, I guess, confidence in themselves, but each other, the collaborative nature in which they work. So in this image, you can see various images that students have posted of builds that they have done based on the MLC school itself. And they have critiqued each other's work and really talked about each other's work in a positive manner.
Just an example here, look, when we posed to them, what do you want to see on the Minecraft server? We've got 20 girls in this group, and they're just commenting on each other, what they want to see and what they think would be the best mods for them to develop.
So here we have a student who has basically looked at a 48-hour straight non-stop Minecraft marathon for charity. So we may not allow her to do this, or the other students, but it's a good point to recognise that there is a social context in which they're looking at using Minecraft themselves.
And one of the things about that is we often have people wanting to raise money for charity in schools, but usually it's a particular sort of activity. You would never think about gaming in our school. You never think about gaming for others. You always had the perception it's about yourself. Here, it's gaming for the benefit of people who don't even play. These are for kids. This is raising money for kids who don't have resources. And we may even pursue this in some form. We may adapt our own sort of LAN party to raise money.
So another one we're looking at here is a student who's posted a video on our site and is basically allowing other students to comment. And it's quite interesting, the conversations that take place, because they're quite technical in terms of how did you film this, what software did you use, and different aspects of what they need to know to fulfill tasks. And we really don't need to help too much at all. It's the conversations that they have that are important.
And they're totally directing where they want to go and what they want to learn and how they want to express it. And they're learning the language to ask those questions.
So currently at the moment, when we look at students at Minecraft and look at what they're doing, they're building all sorts of things at the moment. So here we have a speed build of a village that some of the students created. Avatar creation, so creating your own personalities and characters.
And this is a geography project where a student was exploring what happens to you when you ascend Everest, so she built it.
Machinima, standard sort of acting within a virtual space, which is great for students who are less inclined to be performing arts students themselves.
And this is a Great Wall of China walkthrough where in history the student created the Great Wall of China in 3 weeks.
So where do we want to go next, or what could we do?
Well, basically what we can do is build things like this. This is a semi-professional group of people in the UK who collaborate. There's about 30 different builders there, I think. They're creating these amazing structures and they're planning them, working out how they're going to function together as teams. Could you imagine what we could do here if we could create in such a way? Minecraft is an open slate, it's a blank canvas for us to work on. And imagine also if we were working with people around the world, other schools, to collaborate and develop a sense of internationalism.
And it really is amazing. I mean, this is really, when I look at it as, in terms of gaming, where we're headed in education, I can see, and I think it's clear to see how important gaming will become. And in future, it could be that most of school is done in terms with play, not just here, but anywhere.
I suppose any who are educators who are looking at this, the question you have to ask yourself here is, what are they learning? And what skills are they learning, and how could they translate those outside of the gaming world context? That's the important part. That's the really important part. What is it they are learning, and how can it be transferred? And only through playing the games yourselves, this is for teachers and for students, only by playing the games yourselves can you see their value. I don't think there's any amount of just sitting and being told through research that games will teach. You have to play.